Guys, it's Kevin. Today we're going to start a new video here on a forge. This is going to be a big day. We got the burner made already. So I'm going to get the garage warmed up here, and we're going to spend a day in the garage building a forge. I think it's going to be a fun one. So hang in there and see how this goes. While the wood burner's over there warming up, I'll show you what I'm gonna type of box. I'm gonna build this. It's not gonna be huge. I'm basically gonna be doing knives in it. It's about 13.5 inches long, the box itself. A lot of the videos I've been watching on YouTube, they really don't explain to you a whole lot, but I'm gonna be using 3 brick long, because I'm going to be using 2 burners on the top. These should fit right between the brick here. We'll cut a slot for these to fit down in here. And I'm actually going to make this thing, I'm going to cut these right here off. I'm going to cut these brick here off. But if I decide later down the road I would like to make it a 3 burner, I will add a brick in here and we'll put another burner in here, and then we'll definitely have room for it. Now I'll have an 18-inch box long. Now the hole inside the firebox, it looks to be about 4.5 by 4 inside. That'd be inside of here, right down in there where the flame's going to be. I think it's going to be basically 4 by 4. If we said 4 inches by 4 inches. Now, would I need it bigger than that? See, I don't know. But I'm basically going to use this forge for building knives. So, anyhow, that is the base that we're going to use to build our frame with. And we're going to say, like, this may be your front over here, and this may be your back. It doesn't matter either way. But if I need more space inside there, what I'll do is I'll just add another brick on here. But we're going to cut this one off for right now. Then again, I might not cut it off. I don't know. We're going to play it by ear. And we're going to go, we're just going to kind of go with the flow and see what comes out. But those are the burners that I built. If you didn't see the video on the burners, you can watch the video on the burners if you'd like. So we're going to get to cutting some steel here. Now you guys remember I showed you in the first video of this, the angle iron. I still have a bunch more of this. This is what we're going to be framing this up with, just old shelving somebody had. And I will be putting a set of wheels on this so I can move this forge around. It has to be portable in my garage. I don't have a great big garage and I need all the space I can get, so I'll have to be able to move this guy around. So that's the steel we're going to be hacking on. So we're going to get it cut up and see what we come up with in a forge. Alright, I got all the steel cut just for the framework. We are going to have wheels on these, so 2 of these are going to be a little bit shorter than the other 2. That's for the height. This is the length of it. And this is going to be the width of it. So it's not really wide, but it's going to be what it's going to be when we're done. So, and like I said, the forge is actually for making knives. So I don't need anything huge, but you never know, you know. But I still got the coal forge. If you guys haven't seen the video on the coal forge, check it out. I made a nice coal forge over there too. So this thing, I was basically building this gas forge because a lot of times when I'm forging out a knife and I go and grind it all up, then the coal forge is pretty much out, or the fire's so low it's hard for me to temper it. So I could throw it in the gas forge and temper it real quick, and be done with it. So we're going to get to putting this guy together now. We're just going to be cleaning up some of these ends and getting them welded up. Gonna throw a couple washers on here as a spacer. Throw our wheel on here. And we're gonna put another washer on here. Just to kind of take up some space. And put our little pin in here. Gonna do the same thing with the other side. I think that's going to work good. Hopefully we're about the same size. Now, in the front here, I'm going to take a piece of angle. I'm going to measure the rear tires. I'm going to get a piece of angle exactly the same width as those rear tires. And I'm going to weld it on here. And that's going to give me just a little bit more stable base. Alright, we got us a moving stand now for our forge. You can actually move it around. So I'm going to lay the stone in here and see how they fit. I mean, we got it all welded up. Hopefully everything, I actually made it about 1/4 inch bigger than what I really needed. So I'm hoping that it turned out okay. Now I'm still going to put metal on the outside of this too, but I just want to fit all my stone before I go any further to make sure everything is going to fit comfortably in here. Hopefully this last one fits at your main one here. Whew, it's tight. Whew, man, that's tight. I may be able to find some stone just a little smaller, because you know, not all these stone are exactly the same width. So let me look and see if I can get one just a little bit smaller. This one looks a little smaller than the other one. Well, I'm going to have to work on it. Looks like I need to grind some of the weld there off. It should fit though. It's close. Just think, I left a 1/4 inch space between these, so I thought for sure I'd have had a little too much. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit. See if I can get this to go down in here. Now I'll tell you what, I cut this thing a 1/4 inch bigger than what it was supposed to be. It's pretty daggone tight in there at a 1/4 inch, so you may want to cut yours just a little bigger than that 1/4 inch so it'll fit in there. These stone are not exactly all the same, but it's working out. I think it's going to be okay. Now, this is going to be the back over here. And we're going to put some metal on the sides of this too. So, like I said, I think this back here will be my back part. This will be my front of my forge. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to need a few more stone. Now, I was going to put 3 burners here at one time. Now I'm just going to use the 2 burners. So this is basically the way it's going to set. We're going to put another stone right here, and then we're going to cut these guys off, and then we're going to move a set back here and bring them up. So this will be our box. And that actually is going to give me a box of, let's see how long this box is going to be. It's 2 blocks, so it's going to be about 18 inches. Well, about 18 inches inside there. Which for knives, I think is going to be okay for me. Now, I want this thing to where I can move this thing around, so I'm going to need a set of handles out here somewhere. So I can lift this up and move it around. But right now we're going to work on, we'll run up and grab some more stone because we're going to have to cut one of these guys for in the back of this. When we work on the back here, I'm going to put a plug in here. So I'm going to cut a stone that will actually fit inside this, and then we'll have it to where we can take it on and off, and we'll have, we can put the knife all the way through if we want to. So that's what we're going to work on here right now. Okay, I cut a brick. One of these brick, I just cut it just big enough to fit inside this thing so I can create a plug in here. That way, if I ever decide that I want to put something longer than what my forge is, I'll be able to pull the back brick out and use it for something bigger. Now, up in the front, I took the 2 pieces off the front here, and I just made a couple new ones and moved them back, as I didn't want these sticking up in the front. So what we're going to do, I just moved it back here and welded it on, and I cut a notch out so I could be able to get this brick back out of here. So I'll be able to disassemble this whole thing and take all the brick back out without having a lot of trouble. So I left a little 1/4 inch gap all the way around it. Now we're going to get ready to probably do the sides and the bottom. We've got some sheet metal, some real thin sheet metal we're going to put around the outside of it and the bottom. And then we're going to build the box for the top. And that's going to consist in our burner. So we're getting her done. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get started on cutting the sheet metal out for the sides of this thing. I think this might be, it's not quite an 1/8 inch thick, but I think it'll work fine for this process. Alright, now we're going to start placing our blocks back in there. We got the 2 sides done and the bottom. So what we're going to do is going to stick that first block down in here and slide it all the way to the front. It's going to be a tight one, but we'll get her. that is one tight fit. That's super tight. So now we got to put the sides back on. You had these guys sort of like this. The only problem is I cut that plug for the back. I might have to shrink it up a little bit to get it to fit. I'm probably a little closer now. Let's try it, see what happens here. Oh yeah, we'll have to shrink it up a little bit. So, that ain't no big deal, I'll just put it up there. Okay. Well, it's pretty tight in there. That's where we want them, I guess. Now we'll be notching the top. We gotta put some notches in this top to get our burner down in there. So what we'll do is stick all the brick in here, get them about where I want them, figure out where I want that burner, and go ahead and notch the hole. Whew, looking good. Looks better with a little bit of metal on it. And then there's angle that's going to go over the top. See, there's going to be a piece of angle, I think, that's going to go right over the top. Just a small box that's going to fit over top of here. And it's going to have the two burners going through it. Now we're going to stick the two burners, one right here and one right here. Then if we decide we want another one, we're going to put it back here. So we're going to run two burners first and see how it works. Alright, there's where our two burners are going to go through. So we got to get to cutting this out. Okay, we got them all cut out now, and I marked these 1, 1, 2, and 2 for burner 1 and burner 2, so I make sure I get my stones back in the same place, and they're going to fit pretty much perfect in there. And like I said, if I decided I want to put another burner in, I'm going to put it over here. That way we'll have 3 burners in here. Like I said, I probably should have put 3, and maybe later we will, but right now we're going to work with the 2 that we have already, and we're going to get this thing done. Now this is going to be the end of this video here. The next time we come in, we'll be working on the top and the bottom down there, the base, and we're going to have a handle on here that we can move this thing around with. There's still a lot more to do to this forge, and then when we're all done with the forge, We're going to start on a small, I don't know if they call them kilns or foundries, or is that both the same? But anyhow, we're going to make one of them too to go with this forge. So you guys stay tuned. Look for that next video. We'll have it out as soon as we can, and get this project done. I'd like to tell everybody thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave me thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment if you'd like. Till next time.